The quality that is most needed in the world today is empathy, the ability to see things from the point of view of another person. What is a good way to develop the qualities of empathy, curiosity, and compassion? To walk, if even for a short time, in someone else's shoes. At least in my own life, art has been the best way. Through books and movies, through plays and songs, and all the other arts, I have been able to learn about and identify with people who are not myself. Art is, of course, many things, but I believe its most important role is to give form to emotion and then to communicate it from one person to another. We will always be trapped within ourselves, but we can, however, usually understand something about how those closest to us feel, our relatives, the people we're married to, our families. We can identify with them, but what about the others? What about those born to other tribes? I believe art is the closest we can come to understanding how a stranger really feels.
Likened the cinema to kind of our modern church. You know, we go into a dark room, we are transported to another life, another story with a bunch of strangers, and we have all these emotions and feelings together. So it's not only that film, that you're transported by a story, and there's that mode of connection, empathy, but there's a communal experience.
I'm so happy to see you all here. I cannot wait to watch you guys watch this film.
This is my first time at Ebertfest, and the only thing I can think to myself is, why did I wait so long to come to Champaign, Illinois for Ebertfest? This is a film geek's dream, and it's a dream come true to be here. I am having the best time. I don't want to leave.
This is an amazing festival. I mean, first of all, the fact that you have a theater that seats, 1,500 people, and that virtually every seat is full. I mean, that's incredible. Like, it's very rare that you go to a festival and there's such an enormous and engaged audience.
My film, when it showed, I know the points where there's a laugh line or there's a this or this, and it was just like multiplied by 50.
It's really an audience that who likes to go and see films. It's great. You feel it immediately.
And when people really love movies, I think that's what it's really all about, when people really genuinely, and I can tell this audience, they're out there waiting in long lines to get in, so it's a beautiful thing.
It really reminds me how important it is to see a movie where it was intended to be shown. And just every movie I've seen here has been incredible.
So will you please help give a great Ebertfest welcome to Gary Ross.
It's a very, very satisfying thing for me to be able to see it and to be able to see it with an audience. You know, when you make a movie, it goes into the ether and you can still see it on, you know, you can stream it or you can see it on DVD, but you can't come to a beautiful old theater like this and see it the way a movie is meant to be seen with a live audience.
Someone asked me, well, why do you keep coming back? I said, well, you know, technology is a great thing. And as progress accelerates, you come to appreciate certain things that don't change in the quality of life, and that includes watching a movie on this screen.
Actually, I just wanted to make the point that it's totally coincidental that both Ben Lear and his father, Norman Lear, are at this festival. They just both happen to have two good documentaries.
Well, Chaz invited me, and I said, do you mind if...
All right, did they like the movie or what?
You know what I think would be terribly funny? If we now talked for 20 minutes about nothing that interests anybody.
This is such a nice festival. I want to come back. You know, there are other films I made. I could come back. Yeah. I've been to a number of festivals. I've never seen one as well organized as this one.
Great people, great fans. Everyone from staff on, have been just excellent. So I'm very happy about that.
I love the festival. Never felt more welcome, never felt more comfortable, never asked more lovely questions.
I just love the fact that, we're seeing films on a big screen in a great theater. That's really, really special for me.
It's much more of a celebration of cinema as an art form and not a competition. And most festivals are competition of new films. And there's nothing here competing with anything. There's one screening at a time. It gives the audience really a chance to relax and enjoy the films, and it allows for a different kind of conversation and Q&A afterwards.
I've been reflecting on Roger Ebert, obviously, since I've been here, and particularly becoming aware of, not just what he built as a critic, but what he built here in terms of a community. It's a really beautiful thing that I think I would never have been aware of if I hadn't come to the festival.
His spirit for sure impacted me this week. I felt him everywhere I went, because I would catch myself coming to the theater or being in the theater or walking away from the theater and just wondering what he would be thinking if he knew that all these people were getting together, in the spirit of him. And what a wonderful legacy to leave behind, that he was so passionate about something and that passion spilled into other people's lives.
This year, we are dedicating the festival to 4 principles. The first principle is directly taken from when Roger said, movies have the ability to generate empathy. They're like a giant empathy machine. And then we added other words to them that we felt were equally important: kindness, compassion, forgiveness.
Empathy. That word is growing and growing and growing in our culture right now. It certainly exists here at the Ebert Film Festival.
Roger and I used to talk about empathy is great, but I also believe in putting some deeds to those words. And I said, what do you do once you empathize with someone?
Roger's process was empathetic. I think that's who he was.
If you have a film that's skillfully done, or is powerful or something, that stays with you for 5 minutes, 10 minutes the next day. But if you can empathize with the characters on screen, with the way the interactions happen, that stays with you for years or for a lifetime.
Empathy is a hard place to live because you make yourself vulnerable. The more vulnerable you make yourself through characters and through film, the more kind of assailable you are.
That's kind of the word that is a key concept that I think about every single day when I'm making my films. That is the most important thing that I feel like I can do, is create empathy between the audience and my subjects.
Art allows you to, whether it's film or novels or just books in general or paintings. It allows you to experience things that you don't necessarily experience in your life.
Film is a way of creating proximity between two, worlds, two people that may otherwise never meet and never know each other.
You can't say anything more profound about films than that they create an empathy machine.
We would all have to have a different approach towards life, more towards empathy, more towards humanity.
Film as a communal experience will never die, because to share that experience and therefore share emotions and feelings with the people right around you. For me, that's one of the reasons I love film, is that communal experience.
I don't know, in this crowd there are dentists and doctors and all the things you people do. There's a miracle to be found in everything. In everything. I believe that. Let me put it another way. Given that the creator, I'm trying to avoid the word God for everybody, the creator of this enterprise here this being a planet among a billion, in a universe of which they say, scientists tell us there are also billions possible, over all of the centuries since the beginning of creation. If you want to measure the difference in the way any two of us impact anyone in this audience, and Jonas Salk, or Norman Lear, or George Clooney out of this film, or Chaz, you can't measure the difference. If you helped somebody smile in the course of your day today, or lifted the weight off of somebody's problem with a good word or whatever, you can't get your fingers close enough to measure the difference between that little act and what it did for somebody and what Einstein did for all of us.